They call me the Doctor.
Greetings, humans, Daleks, and we don't have time for that because we have a new Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
This is a little, emergency broadcast, really, which is a few days late. Yes, I'm aware of that.
Well, to be fair, we're always late with everything, so an emergency broadcast for us being 3 days late
Yes.
is actually
It's quite good.
pretty quick.
Yes. Yeah. I did not expect the Doctor announcement last week.
I didn't expect it to, but you mentioned to me the way they revealed Russell, which was just on social media. So I thought that was a bit stupid, but I thought maybe for the Doctor they'd do a big thing. It'd be a tune into this at this time, and then they'll reveal it. Instead, it was half an hour of teasers, which I was expecting to be teasing a reveal later down the week.
Yes.
Instead, it was teasers for the reveal being at like
In
12,
half an hour's time.
76. 76? Yeah, it was at a random time.
I think it was about 12:30.
Mm.
They posted the emojis, which I will admit I didn't get it. I saw the blue box and saw the hearts and just thought it meant love for
Yeah,
the blue
genuinely,
box. I was so dumb.
And then Daniel
that,
said
Daniel was like, "Oh, what's this season?" And I remember I messaged him because that's how we found out. Was in our group chat with Daniel and a few other people, and Daniel, who was on Hellbound, we talk about this. If you listen, you know who Daniel is. He was in the group chat and he sent that post because he obviously already followed Ncuti Gatwa. I didn't. And then he saw the emojis and I sent a message going, "What's your theory behind this then?" Because I was just so I don't know what this means. And then someone else pointed out when they confirmed it, they went 2 hearts in a blue box. And I went, "Oh, yeah." I got the blue box bit, but the 2 hearts, I just thought it meant love. And I was
love for Doctor Who.
And I was just completely over my head.
I had just woken up, so when all this was going down, I was excited, but I was very much like, hello? Blue box.
You could tell in the group chat, because the group chat was Daniel going, "Rah!" Me going, "Rah!" And you going, "Oh, cool."
Because I'd literally just woken up. I had no idea where I was. All I knew is that as soon as you wake up, half an hour goes like that. It started with the teasers and then the Doctor was revealed and I was like, yes.
And you just look at we're sending pictures of him and you're going, "Who is this man? Why am I looking at him? He's the Doctor. Who's the Doctor? He's the Doctor. What's the Doctor? I'm not going to the doctors."
Basically.
That kind of thing. Once you've processed it, by the evening, then I started to get videos going, "Oh, I've just thought of this.
Exactly.
Of this." And I was like, "Okay,
once I'd
you've warmed up now."
Once I actually woken the fuck up. and I was like,
"I've not got an appointment."
I went to the doctors. They sent me home. I was so confused.
Go to doctors and just go, "Ncuti Gatwa?" They'd be like, "No, George Ellis." Be like,
"That's me, yeah.
I'm not the Doctor." Be like, "No, go home." But yeah, did not see it coming. When I saw the name Ncuti Gatwa, I was like, "Who?" And then as soon as I saw a picture, it's like, "Oh, wait, I do know that guy." It's not somebody I ever would have thought of in a million years.
Wasn't on my radar. I know of the dude, and I've seen, because I'm one of the 1% who hasn't seen Sex Education.
Yes.
I will now, though, because Aiden's
Yes.
recommended it, Russell T Davies recommends it, and now the Doctor's from it, so it's kind of important. But I recognised him from it, and I was like, cool. But no, he wasn't anywhere near my radar initially, though, to this should be the next Doctor.
Yeah, I would never have. I was saying, if I'd drawn up a list of 50 people I want to be the Doctor, he would not have been on it. But it's weird to me that everybody has been so focused on Sex Education all this time, but we never even considered him. I never saw anybody ever say Ncuti Gatwa. The one that we all thought it was Tania Miller. She's in Sex Education. The one who was my dream was Edward Bluemel. He's in Sex Education. Who was rumoured for companion was Tanya Reynolds, who we covered this on the podcast. She's from Sex Education. And there's been all these eyes have been on Sex Education for so long. And then you look at the main characters. You got Asa Butterfield. No, he's not a doctor. Emma, no, she's not a doctor. And it's Ncuti's yeah, whatever. So we've not even ever considered him. But then as soon as somebody goes, "Yeah, he's the Doctor," then my head goes, "Oh, what a genius choice."
I think it's because everyone was so focused on the other ones. It was almost I think to me, it's the idea that they're so good at that role. Ncuti was so good at playing that role. You kind of you don't. It's the idea is so good that you forget about it in a way because you take it for granted. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
And then everyone was just like, "Oh, what about this one? They could work like this." And then Ncuti's just there, just waiting about a month until being like, "Hi, it's me. Oh yes, it's
then
you,
just-
and you're
then
going to
just
be
being
amazing."
Like, oh yeah, that is genius. Like it's from a creative standpoint,
Mm.
it's amazing, and from like a promoting Doctor Who standpoint, it's amazing. We'll come on to that in a minute. But like creatively, like looking at him, like so then I was like thinking, well, let's look back at clips of him in the show, and because I remember him as being very camp, silly, flamboyant kind of thing. And you look at those things, you watch them, and now I look at those kind of clips and I go, that's so doctory as well. Like if he had like his fascination or stuff, if you saw some alien or things going, oh, what is that? I can really imagine him being like that. But then even remembering, because I haven't seen series 3 of Sex Education, I will admit. Series 2 I wasn't wholly fussed on, but series 1 is still one of the best series of television I've ever seen in my life. And I was remembering, oh yeah, he had that whole storyline where he actually went really dark, and he had a homophobic attack and all these kind of things. And then I was thinking about some of the scenes where he's like properly like confronting people and being really angry and being like, he had that flip of being like really fun and then really angry and threatening. And I never even considered it. But I thought, now thinking about that, I can absolutely see that. Like a lot of people are posting little clips of him saying silly things and saying, oh, imagine if he said this to the Daleks. But when you actually look at like...
You dirty pig.
Yeah, but then you actually look at like proper clips, like when he proper squares up to people and he's like really looking at them, I think I can so see that.
He's got that ability to switch, but also show that it's there all the time, if you get what I mean. Like even in the... like those moments where he's being a bit camp and that kind of thing, you can see that there's no moment where you're thinking, oh no, he can't switch at any point. I think for me, when I was watching the clips, because you sent me
I sent you like a best of highlight reel.
I felt like he has that ability to be serious in darkness inside him at all times, and that can always come out. And I think he has this range and this ability to convey multiple emotions in kind of one performance, one scene. If you like, to me, it will be when you see Tennant or Matt or that kind of thing, kind of, and Capaldi just kind of acting, playing the Doctor. Even when they're being fun and fascinated about something, you know that you can tell when either they're taking it seriously, or they're stressed and they're trying to calm everyone else down, or they are genuinely interested. You see all of these layers to it, and I think Ncuti will be able to create that same kind of thing. I don't think he's going to give us anything which we've seen before in like a template kind of sense. I don't think we're going to say, oh, he's very Tennant or very Capaldi. I think we're very much going to go, that's very Ncuti, that's him. He's going to give us something which feels like the Doctor and what we've seen, but it's going to be his own version, and I'm very excited for it.
That's it, because Russell was saying like in the audition, saying like, you know, he was, because I remember when Sex Education first came out, I think 2017, 2018, thereabouts. I remember everybody in sixth form was watching it. Everyone was watching. I was like, I have no interest in this show whatsoever. And then Russell at the time, which I've tried to find this interview and I can't find it anywhere, but I know for a fact he did, and I've not made this up. And Russell did say on something, he's going, oh, I love Sex Education. It's amazing. So I thought, okay, if you like it, I'm going to give that a go. Watched one episode and was like going, this is amazing. Got to the end and was going, oh my God, everybody, have you seen Sex Education, Aidan? And it was like, Aidan, we did that a month ago. And I was like, but it's so good. And then that kind of thing. But I like that Russell has seen it, and he said that he was like the last audition. You know, all this could be like publicity stunts and stuff, but that idea that he's saying
specific,
like,
though, for a publicity stunt.
To say like, because that whole thing when they say, oh, we had somebody, then he came along, you can get that kind of thing a lot. But I do think the idea that Russell had, like, when they saw on the list Ncuti Gatwa, what was he from? Sex Education. Oh, okay. Like he kind of knew what to expect. He kind of expected Eric from Sex Education. And then Russell has said that what he did in that audition was not what they expected at all. And they blew him away. So I'm really expecting a lot of people being like, oh, the Doctor's going to be like Eric. That's going to be a bit weird. It's like, no. I don't know what performance he's done. But whatever it is, it's going to be something like, we have not seen a Doctor like that before.
It's going to be something we haven't seen before. And also I think we're going to get something very different. But actually, no, I don't know what we're going to get. That's the point. But I know what it's going to be. It's going to be something that is perfect for the role. Yeah. As the Doctor.
I think this quote came out today as well, which was Stephen Moffat interview. And Stephen has said, Russell showed me Ncuti Gatwa's audition tape a while back. He is magnificent. All at once a brand new hero and the same wonderful old Doctor we know. Trust me, we are all in for a treat.
Yeah.
So I think that's even Moffat being like, did not expect that, but he's great.
So
Like,
there are elements there that are very much, that's
like,
the Doctor.
Yeah, he's been like, it's very much the Doctor, but not in a way you would think.
Notice how he says hero. I do love how Moffat describes the Doctor as a hero. That's interesting also. Like, does that spell, I don't know, does that spell what the audition tape was like? Was it a heroic moment? Was it just, I want to know what it was about. I just want to, just give us a tape. Just give us a tape. I want to see the tape. I really want to see it. But we're going to have to wait over a year to see any of this.
Yes. But it's really shaping up that I do think the Doctor Who we are going to get from series 14 onwards, I don't think it's going to be anything like Doctor Who we've ever seen before. Like, because I'm thinking the way that, obviously you've seen from Classic Who now, you know how the structure is. It's 4 parts, it's very slow, it's a very it's not really character, it's just a focus on the adventure. Classic Who is very much its own thing. And the new Who comes along, and that is very much its own thing. You've now got a new format, you get series arcs, and you get more character studies and 45-minute episodes, this kind of thing. From series 14 onwards, I believe that formula is dead. We are done. From series 1 to 13, that formula is gone. I believe from series 14 onwards, we're going to get something completely new.
What's it going to be?
And I think what it's going to be, because Moffat said in another interview that Russell apparently has plans to supersize Doctor Who. And I think what that is from that interview a couple of years ago, and Russell was like saying, why isn't Doctor Who treated on the same level as Marvel?
Yeah.
And Mandalorian, things like that. It's going, it should be one of those titles. I think Russell is on mission, make it one of those titles. And I think even if we get something like, look at the Marvel shows where you get 6 episodes, 1 long story, this kind of thing. I think that's what Doctor Who's going to become.
More kind of just one big kind of story per
I think
series.
it's going to be like a big thing now. Like the time of being like 10 plus episodes of Adventure of the Week, but we're building up to something that's gone in my mind.
I'm going to miss it,
it's dead.
But it has had its time.
I think it's run its course. I don't think TV runs like that anymore.
No, not
I
at
think
all.
we all tune into episode 1 and we want those answers revealed by episode 6 or episode 10, however long
it is very
it's
much,
gonna be.
that is, honestly, that's how kind of, that is how everything works. That's how, even like
every series you've watched in the past 5-10 years, they're all like that
Like,
now.
I can, you've got the Marvel shows.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
I can even say DC with Titans, Doom Patrol, that kind of thing.
And then even like...
Even the animations from DC, like even animations are following that same kind of format. Like Young Justice is this big arc. It's not Monster of the Week,
and
as an
even
animation would be.
Yeah, and
10
even
years ago.
away from genre. Thinking about, what was that Martin Freeman show I watched recently? I can't even think what it was called now. That was like 5 episodes, 1 long story.
First there was this Responder, something, I don't know, but
I think it was Responder.
I think so, yeah. But it's kind of, that's like Line of Duty, same kind
Line
of
of
thing.
Duty, Sex Education.
There you go.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Everything now, it's episode 1 and episode 6, 8, 10, however long the series is. That's the finale to episode 1, rather than going, here's episode 1, you're in the Victorian times. Now here's episode 2, we're in space. Now here's episode 3, we're in the Tudor times. That era of TV is dead in my mind. Like The Mandalorian, you can say kind of does do it because it goes, here's a place of the week, here's a place of the week, but it's still building towards one specific thing. And I think that's what Doctor Who's going to become. We are on a planet this week. Now we're in history this week, but we're all trying to find out what this thing is by the end of it. Like, I think, to be honest, Flux is probly a template of what it's going to be like, but written well.
Yeah.
So, I think that's the closest of what we can comprehend Doctor Who's going to be like. Like, I was listening to another podcast in reaction to this, and they were like saying,
Ew, you're cheating on us.
Yeah, I was actually quite a rival. I'm not going to say the name of the podcast, but they say, we take Doctor Who's worst episodes and debate if they're really as bad. And I was like, we did that first. But, yeah. But I was listening to their reaction because the person who runs it I've followed for quite a long time, so I trust his opinion.
I don't.
But they were like saying they even think the age of Doctor Who being at Comic Cons is dead because we're not aiming that audience anymore. He was like saying, you're sweaty little nerds in the corner. Doctor Who's going to shake them off and say, we're not aiming this at you anymore. We're aiming this at a new audience.
I don't think that's ever going to be possible. Because those sweaty
I
nerds
think
are going to be latched on.
Yeah,
like,
it will still be like we know they're all still watching, and we'll do stuff to try and make them happy. But you're not our primary audience.
Not anymore. Yeah,
and I think that's why you can see Chibnall era failed so massively, because when it started, that first series is like, welcome all you new fans, and it was like welcoming to her first series is very much aimed at a brand new audience. Get to the second series and you're delving into Time Lord lore, you're getting into Timeless Child, Master, this, that, and you just go, what is this? I don't understand any of this. What's a Time Lord? And you're just so like, huh? That it falls apart. Whereas I think this now is going to be, I do strongly believe we are not going to see Jodie Whittaker transform into Ncuti Gatwa. I strongly believe she's going to regenerate, walk into the distance, or walk into the sunset or something, and you get credits. I don't think we're going to see that. And then when you
can have a bit of a jump.
And then when series 14 starts, it's gonna be like an Eccleston situation. He's already the Doctor. He's already in his outfit. He already knows who he is. He's already on a mission doing something. That's what I honestly believe they're gonna do, because it's just gonna be. Like,
I'd love that. I'm getting goosebumps from that idea. Just the idea of Ncuti just showing up, just being like, "Hi, I'm here. I'm the Doctor now," and you're just like, "Oh, yeah, okay."
So we don't have to, because
like basically he'll grab your hand and run with you, and you're like, "Okay."
Exactly. Like if you look at, like I've now followed Ncuti Gatwa on Instagram. This is the first time we've ever had a Doctor with an active social media presence while they are the Doctor.
That's going to be interesting.
Capaldi has nothing. Smith has nothing. Tennant has nothing.
Tennant, Tennant.
Jodie Whittaker has nothing.
I know Tennant didn't, but really none of the other ones have.
The only one who does is Eccleston, and obviously Instagram wasn't a thing in 2005. So this is the first time we've ever had a current Doctor with social media.
I do like how Tennant is basically like, he's on social media in a way though, through his wife.
Yeah.
Who just posts pictures of him.
Of him, yeah. What was I saying about that? Yeah. He had, when he posted that picture, he had 2.5 million followers. He now has 2.7 million followers. So however that is, 200,000 people have followed him. That's a lot of followers. 2.7 million followers. Like, imagine the show just going up 2.7 million viewers. That's already a big number. And I think I can't remember where I was going with this point, to be honest. Yeah, I do now.
He's back.
Those 2.7 million viewers, followers, they're like, say they're all now going to go, because there is a massive number of people, the biggest I have seen since the 50th anniversary, of saying, I'm going to start watching Doctor Who again.
That are showing interest.
I'm going to watch Doctor Who. Oh, this has got my attention now. I know people that have stopped watching it and are now going, I'm coming back, because they're all like, I know that guy. They're all coming to see it. And are they going to want to really go back to Eccleston? They might, if they watch Ncuti Gatwa, really enjoy it, they might go back. But now, there was a time where, like, Smith comes on board. Yeah, you can watch from Eccleston. You've only got 4 series to catch up on. Now you've got 13 series to catch up. That's a lot. That's I've worked, because I'm watching it with Jake. I've now worked out it's 175 episodes of TV.
That's actually not that much.
Yeah, but like, say that's an hour each, 175 hours.
Yeah, it's not.
It's a long
10,000 hours to learn a hobby.
It's a lot of of stuff.
No, it is a lot of stuff, especially with the way we live our lives, which is like
exactly.
constant.
It's like, I don't have time to be watching 5 Doctors in preparation for this. So they're all going to want to come to episode 1 of series 14 and know what's going on.
It is. I think you're onto something here. I think it's going to be very much something. Not a reboot, or in a way,
it is a reboot.
Yeah,
they've kind of.
But it is a reboot in all of the senses outside of it as well. If you look at the production of it,
yeah, it's like
new production company, more money,
exactly,
different,
like, and even
showrunner. Like it's
Millennium FX. I said this to you a while ago, because in the time we've been away on this podcast, I've been building up a lot of news to talk about. It got so much, I thought, you know what, sod this. Other podcasts have covered that. I don't need to bother. One of the things was that Millennium FX, who did the special effects and the prosthetics, all that kind of stuff, from Eccleston to Whittaker's first series, they left after Whittaker's first series. They're coming back, and on the way they announced, like, revealed it, was they said, we're coming back for Doctor Who's second reboot. That was what they said. So I think everybody involved is treating this as, this is a clean break. Whittaker, the centenary, is going to be a hard full stop and say that is the end of that era. Now let's carry on. What I found really interesting, I don't know if there's any weight to this, but in the press release, when the BBC announced, here's your Doctor, on absolutely nowhere in that press release did they say 14th.
It's fair.
Everybody else was announced, here's meet Capaldi, your 12th Doctor. Meet Jodie Whittaker, your 13th Doctor. Meet Ncuti Gatwa, the Doctor. What number? The Doctor.
That can be from...
And I think it could either just be a case of they just didn't bother mentioning it.
That could be from 2 standpoints. That could be...
Because apparently in the announcement, the original one that went up, it just said for the next series, and then that got edited to series 14. But they've not said 14th Doctor. I do think he will be the 14th Doctor, but I think that tag of 14, people go, well, I've got to catch up on 14 of these before. But no,
It might
just
be
watch
that,
the Doctor.
but it also might be the idea that from here on out, when they announce the Doctors, it might just be the Doctor to kind of deal with a lot of, because what happened with Jodie, it's the 13th Doctor, people latch on to the idea that it's just another one. Whereas by saying it's the Doctor, you latch on to it being the Doctor, not, it's just another one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It might be that, but it also could be what you're saying. It could be the idea that you don't want to remind people that they've got to go through 14 series to catch up.
Because also, if you watch series 1 with Eccleston, he never says I'm number 9.
I don't often watch them with Eccleston, but I mean, I've
yes,
seen it.
If you actually watch it, he never mentions being the 9th Doctor. And I was watching this, I was seeing some stuff like reactions and things from the time, and people being like, and even videos I've watched about other things. Apparently, fans at the time weren't sure if this was a continuation or a complete reboot because the show itself, if you actually think about it, does not confirm either way until, I believe, Human Nature. When he's flicking through the diary and you see all the past faces of the Doctors. I believe that is the first confirmation that this is a carry-on from the classics.
That's
if
very
you actually
interesting.
think about it. There may be something here or there before, but I'm pretty sure
But nothing that was
that
like
is the
hard
first
evidence.
confirmation that, yes, this is carrying on from classic series.
So do you think that we're going to be following a similar vein now?
I think, yes.
Which will be by having the Doctor not mention like what number they are.
Because it's just going to be let's hit the ground running, and then as people come on board, as it gets going, then we can start gradually introducing
The
things,
lore
and then we
thing,
can be
yeah.
like, oh, yes, I think I'm 14 by now, like that kind of thing. But another one is the Chibnall era of marketing was this. There's a new series coming out. I'm the BBC. Like, there's a series coming out, isn't there? Maybe.
You'll find
Like,
out.
well, we're going to have a trailer. What's the series about? Who's in it? Any monsters coming back?
Maybe. Oi.
It's like, that's not marketing. How do you promote a series by being like, shut up, don't say anything? It's like even the toys. The character options weren't allowed to make toys because Chibnall would not let
weird.
stuff be revealed. Like, obviously, usually, a series comes out, all the toys released at the same time because all the toy companies got told months ago, here you are, here's the new Dalek design, here's this witch design, here's a Dalek with tentacles on his head.
And they don't reveal it earlier though. Like you look at Funko Pops. They don't get released until the thing's released.
Exactly.
But they're made.
But the people in the know who need to know this stuff. It's not going to get out to the public. But the Chibnall era was like, oh, no, under no circumstances will you release figures because they could reveal secrets. It's like, what? That there's a Jadoon in it? What's that going to reveal? Whereas what Russell has said at the BAFTAs when he was interviewed, what I really liked, he was like saying, we're not going to give you any information for now because Jodie Whittaker is still the Doctor. And then I loved that Moffat and Russell have promoted more about this series than Chibnall ever did. Because before Flux started, Stephen Moffat did a post, because he's got Weeping Angel in his garden, hasn't he? He did a photo of him with the Weeping Angel going, it's great to see the Weeping Angels back. Can't wait for you all to see them. And everybody went, Weeping Angel's coming back. And then he went, oh, damn, I wasn't supposed to say that. He said, I'm the only person who knew.
But was that really I didn't mean, was it a...
No, it was he wasn't supposed to say that. And then Russell
he wouldn't fuck that up. I like to think...
No, he did. That was that was the point. No, that was the point. He did. He wasn't supposed to say anything.
No, I know.
He did. But it was like, yeah, but who should be saying that? Chibnall should be saying that. Why did Moffat say that? And then now Russell has done the same thing. Whereas at the BAFTAs, he went, Jodie's still our Doctor. And he went, there's a new episode coming out in October and it's 90 minutes long. And we all went, it's going to be in October. It's going to be 90 minutes long. And he's like, damn it. I didn't realise they hadn't released that information yet. So it's like they're promoting the era more than Chibnall is.
No, but they're not meant to be revealing these things, but are they doing it deliberately?
I mean, they're saying it because they
assume it'll be public knowledge.
People know, because there's probably a case of like, well, it comes out in October. Why wouldn't know? Why wouldn't people know that?
If for them, like when they promote stuff they wouldn't know, plot points, stuff they would know when it's coming out. That is a fair assumption, to be fair. Because
Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
But then, like, you followed that by saying, like, there's a new episode. It's going to be 90 minutes long. It's going to be in October. So we all went, okay, you've just confirmed 2 details for us there. And then he went, once that's done, and once it's our turn to take over, he went, we will not shut up about it. And I love that. Because I love that Russell has social media. Shooty has social media. I think the presence for Doctor Who is going to be so big. I think you're going to see it everywhere. I think Shooty is just going to post about it constantly.
I would.
And I think there's just going to be so many people that follow for Sex Education and being bombarded with this stuff. Going,
Jesus Christ.
what is this thing?
And it'll look fresh and new. So it'll be like, what is...
Yeah, exactly. Like
these round things.
I love today that Shooty put this little video up.
Sylvester McCoy, thank you so much for your beautiful message. It means the absolute world, especially coming from a fellow Scot. Especially coming from a fellow Scot. I am so looking forward to facing all of those foes, especially the last one that you mentioned. And the support from you and all the other doctors has just filled me with the strength that I will be able to do that. Thank you so much for welcoming me into the family. It means the world. Sylvester, you're a gentleman. All the best.
Like the idea that 2.7 million people will now be going, well, who's Sylvester McCoy? And they're going to have to go away and Google him. Like, I love that idea.
Love that thought, yeah. Who the fuck's Sylvester McCoy?
And they're going, who's Sylvester McCoy? Like, he's now just going to like bombard people with Doctor Who. And it's just going to be like, okay, and it's just going to be...
You'll have to watch it or you won't know what's going on.
Rather than like, I remember before Series 12 started and there were a few billboards and people went crazy over them. Because they're going, oh my God, look at these billboards. And it was like, yeah, I mean... Do you not remember, like, back in the day when there's billboards all the time? But it was like, this is the one and only thing we had. It's like, there's a billboard. It's like, there's still no trailer, but there's a billboard. It's like,
if you look close enough, you can see an alien.
It was just like, it's got Jodie Whittaker on it. And it was just like...
Jodie's our next Doctor.
And it was like, that was major marketing. Whereas now it's going to be like Doctor Who.
We were starved for it
Doctor Who,
to the point where any crumb of marketing was something we latched onto.
Yeah.
And that's the shittiest way to go about it because guess what? Who are you marketing to if you do that?
Only
the die-hard fans.
Only the sweaties in the
like,
corner.
You weren't advertising to me. I didn't see shit about it, really. I saw the announcement and I was like, long gone. Didn't bring me back, did you? You don't know what brought me back? Technically, this podcast and Kapow.
It's just, yeah, it's like, Doctor Who's going to be it's like promoted properly. You can just feel, it feels like something is coming. And it could be like the biggest Doctor Who or the best Doctor Who we've ever had. Like we could see something and go, Jesus Christ, this is just incredible.
I cannot fucking wait. And also just an interesting thing about, it's interesting hearing Shooty talk outside of Sex Education and just normally, because it's like, you can tell he's Scottish slightly, but also, what accent do you think he's going to do? Do you think he's
That's the interesting thing, because if you listen to him enough, the strongest accent he has is the Rwandan accent.
Yes.
But every now and then, I was actually looking at a clip from Sex Education where he's talking completely Rwandan, and then he gets quite angry, and I think he goes, "You will die," and I'm like, "You can Braveheart all of a sudden." He goes so Scottish, but then there's another bit shortly after where he goes English.
What are we gonna get?
And I think it's going to be a case of, I'm not sure if it's going to lock down into anything, and I think that'll actually be quite interesting.
Bit of wonder.
Where it could actually be like he talks in his Scottish, and he goes into Rwandan, and he goes into English. And he could just be, you could put that into the script and being like,
it'd make sense.
I've lived this long now. I don't know. I've been to so many places. I don't know what this
that'd be a
accent
hell
is.
of a way. You can put that down to previous Doctors, and you could also put that down to, if you do a time jump, how long has this dude been traveling the stars to pick up these 3 different accents? I love that actually, and I think for the Doctor you can do that quite comfortably.
Yeah, like it's just like a real world example. I've said this before, but like, if you look at Johnny Depp as an actor, he has said he doesn't know what his accent is anymore because he's done so many voices over the years as Jack Sparrow and Willy Wonka. He says like, I don't actually know what my accent is. I'm talking, but I don't know if I'm putting this on or if this is natural. Because I don't actually know what my voice is anymore. And I think that'd be quite a cool concept for the Doctor, just to be like, talking Scottish, being like, I think this is a Scottish accent, and then going to like an English accent and going, or did I pick this up from Gallifrey? And then going to Rwanda and go, where did I pick this one up from?
I'd like it to follow emotions, maybe. I don't want it to be purely random. I'd like there to be
Yeah, I think it would. It's like that saying that clip I was on about. When he's talking comfortably, his comfortable accent is Rwandan. And then when he went angry, he went Scottish. And then when he calmed down, he went back. He went to English, and then he went back into Rwandan. And then that's just a kind of really interesting concept.
Reminds me, it does actually remind me of Wanda, because obviously when she gets angry, she goes to her Sokovian accent, which is really interesting. So I think, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I just want to see it. But
it's just that feeling that the amount of posts I'm seeing at the moment, and then they're not even posts that are like 10,000 likes. They're like hundreds of thousands of likes of people like looking at this and being excited about it. The amount of people saying like, okay, I'm coming. Where do I start? And people being like, you can go at series 1 if you want, but honestly, I'd just wait and just watch it when it starts, because I think it's going to do a good job of just introducing you to it. And it's just that feeling that like I was saying, I haven't seen a buzz about Doctor Who like this since the 50th anniversary. Because remember the 50th anniversary came out and everybody was talking about it. This is how that feels again. Even when Jodie Whittaker was announced, I was saying when she was announced, there was a load of conversation. It was making national news and this and that. But what was the conversation? It was a debate. Should this be a thing? Should this be a thing? Whereas this one, it's honestly 95% absolute love, 3% speculation, and 2% Doctor Who is dead.
Yeah, of course you get like the 2% of racist people. But yeah, no, it's very interesting at the moment to no, it's great that Ncuti's getting all this positivity, because as I said, I do think Jodie deserved a lot more than just a discussion. She deserved the positivity, and the reason it kind of flopped was because of the writing, not because of Jodie, because as we mentioned, I think Jodie can be fabulous.
Promotion.
Jodie can be great as the Doctor. Just a lot of things let her down, you know? And I'm glad that with Ncuti, there's a lot of just positivity about him being the Doctor. So when we go into this, hopefully there'll be more positivity just surrounding the show, and then it'll just maybe it should mean the show will have just a positive impact in the future, just in general, but also I think it will have a positive impact on what came before. Kind of that kind of thing, kind of redeeming it. If you not redeeming the reputation, which would be nice. I
think it will make the era easier to watch, because I think if you are watching it going, oh, Timeless Child, I hate this, what are they going to do, if it gets to like the RTD2 where he never mentions it,
R2D2,
that's what people call it, don't they? I think when we get to that, if like the Timeless Child are two words that are never spoken in that entire era, then it will make the Chibnall era so much easier to watch, because we can go, oh, it's just contained to this era. I don't believe this is a thing that continues to all of Doctor Who. And because it's not mentioned in any other Doctor Who, I don't need to believe it.
And if you want to believe
if it does carry on, I kind of have faith that they'll do it in a different way. But honestly, are we going to bombard people with that? No. Not all these people that's coming from Sex Education. We're just going to want Doctor, battling monsters, saving the day. Let's all go home and there we are.
That's going to be there we are.
Yes.
Yes.
No,
No, but I think what we're going to get is we're going to get something that I think very much appeals to this new audience.
Yes, and I was going to say, even like the way they announced it is proof that we are not aiming at the sweaties anymore. Because the as much as I loved the Capaldi announcement, I can understand criticism of being like half an hour of let's talk about the show, let's interview Capaldi. Who's going to watch that? We're going to watch that. Sado's going to watch that. All you people that are diehard fans are going to watch that. But any of the general audience is going to sit for half an hour. No. What are they going to do? They're going to check Instagram later that day and see who the Doctor is. So this just cuts out the middleman, goes straight to Instagram, and literally the second it's gone on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, it's just like it starts to spread and spread and spread and spread and spread. And it goes, and it's clear like it will reach people. People will see it on the news eventually. But it's like if you're not primarily going news, TV, then we are not aiming at the TV generation. We are aiming at the social media generation. This is Doctor Who for us now, which is what exciting. That thing you sent me earlier about Ewan McGregor talking about Obi-Wan, where he's saying, Obi-Wan, we're aiming this at the people who grew up with it. This era is going to be aiming it at us.
The people who grew up with kids with New era.
Who.
Yeah.
So as New Who was like, let's bring people on board, but let's also make those happy who grew up with Classic Who. This is now going to go, let's make people happy who grew up with New Who, which is why I'm saying it's going to feel like 3 chapters of Doctor Who. You've got Classic Who, New Who, and New Who. I think New Who is finished. It's done. We're at the end of it.
There were New Who.
But New Who is coming along.
I mean, you knew who worked because New York.
Exactly. That's why I said it. Knew who.
Knew
And then in a few years' time, I might get knew who. And it would just keep carrying on. And it's just the era we are going into. I'm very excited for. I was already extremely excited for it, as we've discussed on this podcast millions of times.
But this
and
casting...
then when they say Ncuti Gatwa is the Doctor, I'm going, oh, you know what you're
exactly.
doing.
The casting makes me excited and also says a lot about where this is going.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking excited, and I think Ncuti's gonna fucking knock it out of the park. And I do think he probably will be one of the best ever.
Yes. So that went on for much longer than I anticipated, but thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening, and let us know what you think.
We will be back soon with our next episode, our next proper episode. I'm not sure when that will be, but this one will definitely be out soon.
When you're listening to it, it is out. So
yes. It is out now for you. It's just a question of how far away the next episode is.
You will find out.
Until then,
See you
goodbye.
next time. Bye-bye.